So, what's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventurer 1994 here. And today is Sunday, April 7, 2019. And guess what? I have some great news for all of you. The NHL playoffs are finally here for 2019. And it begins this Wednesday, April 10, 2019. And the matchups we have are Tampa Bay and Lightning and the Columbus Blue Jackets, the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins, the back-to-back year series of the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we have the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes. And in the West, we have the St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets. We have the Nashville Predators and the Dallas Stars. And we have the Colorado Avalanche and the Calgary Flames. And lastly, we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks. Let's talk about this. The teams I'm going to be paying attention to are Tampa Bay, the Isles, Boston, and St. Louis. The team that I want to win in the Western Conference. I really want one of those top teams to win. Oh, and by the way, since Tampa Bay is playing against the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first round, Columbus is gonna get smacked because Columbus is such a bad hockey team when it comes to the playoffs. For the past few years, they have never advanced to a second round, and they're just so bad to do so. I mean, they mostly played Pittsburgh, and they never last. And they played Washington back when I was in 11th grade, and they didn't last. So obviously they're not going to last in this first round because they're playing against the President's Trophy winners with 62 wins and 20 losses. The Tampa Bay Lightning is like my substitution for the Rangers for the past 2 years because the real Rangers are rebuilding and they didn't make the playoffs for a second year in a row. So I make Tampa Bay the substitution for the Rangers being in the playoffs. It's obviously like the Rangers are playing against Columbus in the first round, but it's really the Bolts because you have a handful of Rangers on that team. Like Callahan, Ryan McDonough, JT Miller, Dan Girardi, and you have all these guys on the team. And there's also JT Miller. I don't know if I said his name or I'm just re-saying it. However, I'm excited for this playoff season. Let's hope Tampa Bay makes it to the finals. So will the Isles. But the one problem is for the Islanders, they have to play Pittsburgh in the first round. I hate when that happens. Because Pittsburgh doesn't let anything go past them in the playoffs. They get so aggressive in the playoffs. And the Islanders have to play them. It's not going to be easy. They might have to force a Game 7 in order to advance to the second round because it's going to be challenging playing against Pittsburgh. But I think at least Parade Man 1986 Studios is at least happy that the Islanders are finally back in the playoffs. I am too, and what's more exciting for them is they're playing their first round games at the Coliseum. And they haven't made the playoffs since I was in ninth grade. And Tampa Bay shut them out. But that was back when they had the shorts. They didn't really have that many Rangers on the team. And obviously I wanted Tampa Bay to play Montreal in the first round because I didn't want Columbus in it. But now it's going to be tough being Columbus because it's going to be tough being the Columbus Blue Jackets just because the prediction is about them getting mouth slapped. Probably a 4-game sweep because Columbus isn't really that much of a good hockey team. And last night, that was an exciting win with the Rangers last game of the season against the Penguins. They won their last game. But one fact is that they have the same record as the New Jersey Devils from the 2014-15 season. And they finished in 7th just like the Devils. Back when I was in 8th grade. So there are some records in the NHL that look similar to past years. Just like the Rangers had the same Devils record from 4 years ago. Back when the Devils had a long playoff drought, but the Devils might be going for another playoff drought. And by the way, there's like there's like some teams that are not really gonna last. Like Columbus Blue Jackets because they're playing against a team I'm paying attention to. The Carolina Hurricanes, which the Capitals are playing too, but this is only their first year in the playoffs like in a decade. I mean, it's not good. It's gonna feel weird for them to be in the playoffs. But they played their best this season. So they deserve to be in it after a 10-year absence. Because people predicted Carolina to not make the playoffs at all. They lucked out. They were like the top 3 picks in the NHL draft this last summer. And I don't think Colorado's gonna last because they're playing against Calgary, which is the best in the West. And I highly don't think Dallas is gonna last because they're playing against Nashville, one of the most aggressive playoff teams from 2017. Oh, and the Rangers also beat the Penguins in the last game of the season in 2017, so it's a comparison, but it's in 2 different places. 2017 was at the Garden, and 2019 was in Pittsburgh. I don't know how to predict it that much, but I'm gonna try my best and prevent people's feelings getting hurt. Just because I predicted. It's gonna feel weird not having Montreal in the playoffs because it's an odd year and this is the first time since 2007 they missed playoffs in an odd year. I feel so bad for them. I just hope they're not becoming the Rangers too. Chicago has become like the Rangers because they're rebuilding. And Detroit has some time left to be a playoff team again. This is also the first season where the Rangers missed playoffs alongside the Devils and Philadelphia Flyers. it's really rare for them to miss out with those teams. But the Chicago Blackhawks, the Chicago Blackhawks actually finished sixth this time. And Minnesota is actually the last place team this time. They were originally going to finish last. So, and by the way, San Jose is the only Californian team in the playoffs this year for the first time since 2004. And speaking of 2004, if Tampa Bay and Calgary look their best in playoffs, we could have another matchup like 2004. But I want it to be either Tampa Bay, the Isles, the Boston Bruins take on the St. Louis Blues in the final. That would be great. I mean, San Jose's the only Californian team that made it since Los Angeles Kings and the Anaheim Ducks look sick this year. I I mainly hope Tampa Bay and all its Rangers players win the Stanley Cup because they won the President's Trophy, and I don't see why not of them not winning the Stanley Cup. They're obviously going to, 100%, because they're going to be so aggressive this playoff year. This is also their first odd year since 2015. They made playoffs. But they made a sudden collapse in 2017. But let's hope they win the playoffs this year. I just want a team that I like in the East to meet with St. Louis. My favorite team in the Western Conference. And by the way, I actually uploaded a video of the Freeform's Ice Age Marathon where they were showing the first 4 films. And I muted the TV. And I got my video blocked worldwide. It was like a video I uploaded at 1 o'clock in the morning last night. I mean, if they see that, my video's gonna get blocked worldwide because it's copyright. And Blue Sky will have a fit with me if they see that. And 20th Century Fox. I was just showing people the Ice Age Marathon Freeform when they were showing the first 4 films for the weekend because I was excited. I had a great day yesterday watching the Ice Age Marathon and the New York Rangers win their last game of the season before they wrap up the season. But last night I only watched the first Ice Age and Ice Age The Meltdown because I only had time for the first 2 films. And the final game was going on during Dawn of the Dinosaurs and Continental Drift. It was like good news for me and Jose Maldonado. And believe it or not, I still know who he is today. I still know him. I'm still friends with him. We're both Ice Age fanatics. We're really cool with each other. I know it's been... it's been 3 years, and it's been a great 3 years with him. I was really excited for this Ice Age Marathon. Just to wrap up the NHL season with one of my favorite movies of all time by Blue Sky. So this playoff year is gonna be epic, especially for Tampa Bay. So I guess that's it.